Weasel 42 bringing you a special scrim match between my very own clan, the POPRS, and SELVA. I have Aikilu here in the room, moderating and co-commentating, I guess, with me. We will roll for him tonight.
Hello.
We've got, It looks like we've got everyone here in the room. I obviously cannot communicate with them other than through the Discord channel room, I guess, but Aikilu is here to help with that and let me focus on the stream and make it legit. So we are going to be playing a 770 match with there's a couple of different rules. 2 auto loader limit. Did you catch the other limits, Aikilu? Or they know the limits?
3 of a kind is the max allowed, and I believe there is usually a tank destroyer limit to 1 or 2. I can't remember, but I didn't know about the autoloader limit. We usually don't have that. Is this a request from TLT?
It's a request from SELVA.
Ah, okay.
I think it's something that the Spanish League enforces, but I'm not certain. I don't want to go and say that that's where it's coming from. But I believe SELVA has been participating in the whatever the Spanish League is called.
Okay.
Somebody told me Hispanic.
Well, WNF is trying to start a Spanish league as well, so could be the same. They usually stream on the weekends, I think. I've seen a couple of them show up on our channels.
Generally,
I'm not associated with that simply because of language problems, obviously.
Yeah, I covered one of their matches a few weekends ago. It was 7F versus 8-bits. And funny enough, it ended up being, it's been my most viewed YouTube video so far. Match, cool. Most viewed match anyway. Usually, all the people involved go back and watch their own match on YouTube. They like watching and seeing and studying their own play. But the view count doesn't go up if you keep watching it yourself. Like it only counts you as one view. But when I did 8-bits versus 7F, and as far as I understand, 8-bits is kind of like the top team from the Spanish community. So it was kind of like the top team from the Spanish community going against 7F. And I think like all the Spanish community must have gone, hey, let's see how the best team from our community has done or something. I don't know, because it's been my most popular match stream so far.
Well, that's good. I'm really happy that we're including other sides of the globe, right? This is a worldwide game, so.
Coming up on, might as well, since we have the time here, coming up this weekend, November 11th, we will be, I have been hosting UGCC's Battle of the Clans Season 3 tournament. They've put the tournament on, and I've been covering the matches on my channel here and streaming them. And we are into the Final Four, and we're going to be doing a Final Four stream where we do both semifinals and then the finals all in one back-to-back show. So we're getting that all lined up. It's looking at going to be a 2 p.m. start. We might make it a 3 p.m. start. We're kind of just discussing between the teams what time block works for all 4 teams. But it's going to be a 2 or 3 p.m. start Eastern time, November 11th, Battle of the Clans Season 3 Final Four. 7F versus Yaga. And as we were talking about regional teams, Yaga is the team that basically represents Poland. They're a bunch of Polish tankers. And
Wow.
Then the other match is UGCC versus UNL, and UNL represents the UK. Their logo is a British bulldog or something like that, but not chain. And it's been really cool covering that tournament and having these different clan leaders coming onto the stream after matches, and you can hear their accents and hear their dialect. And
This is where a translator is helpful sometimes, especially whenever you're trying to relay some complex requests.
Yeah, they usually only have one or two. Well, I mean, the UNL, I mean, they speak English in England, but
All right.
some of the other teams, there was a team from Italy. CDR was an Italian team. There's some other European teams that were in it, so it was really cool seeing a mix of Euro teams and North American teams in the Battle of Clans Season 3. And now that we're in the finals, we have 2 European teams and 2 North American teams, and they both matches it could go either way. Who knows? We could see a all Euro final. So I believe they've started picking tanks here.
Yep. Yeah, I logged the room as well, so we should be able to start as soon as they're done. Do we have a heavy limit or a heavy minimum? Do you know? I don't think so, but
I have.
See, that's the other interesting thing. I asked for other special requests and they didn't mention any, so I'm going to assume it's a regular WNF match. Which we do allow 3 of a kind. We allow a couple of tank destroyers usually. I don't think we allow 2 of a kind on tank destroyers though, just to avoid that double E4 combo, but yeah, I'm asking on channel right now to see. I think I've heard these rules before, so. And is this the typical 770 or is it a 10100, do you know?
770. If it was 10100, I more than likely would be playing myself. Before
because
we were certain that I'd be before we were certain I'd even stream based. We kind of waited out to make sure that we were going to be able to field a proper 770 team with me streaming, because I obviously can't play and stream. So I mean, I could, I guess, but you'd be watching me the whole time, and I wouldn't be able to commentate or nothing. But it's not really entertaining for the viewers.
Well,
I guess if I got taken out by a YAG 100 in the first minute, I could go to spectate view and commentate from there.
I wouldn't be able to commentate if you're playing.
That's true. Well, actually, technically you can. Because with the way that I include my chat audio into stream, I can technically include a chat party that I am not present in on the stream. I can literally leave the party. That's why I have that's why I have the stream bot. Whatever party the stream bot is in is the party that's being broadcast. So I have actually done it in the past where I participated in a match. It was an in-house event, and I participated, and the stream bot sat in a room with some spectators that commentated it, and the only people hearing that was the stream.
That's very
This is
clever. So I'll let you call TLP and I'll call POPRS, and let's get this game started.
well, funny. TLP and POPRS is the same.
Oh, did I say TLP and POPRS? I meant SELVA and POPRS.
Yeah. So we have
I'll call
we have
SELVA.
TLP, the POPRS in the blue. They have chosen to bring out an E4, 3 E5s, and 3 chieftains.
And SELVA has brought out an E4, E50M, TVP 5051, a pair of E5s, and a pair of chieftains. I really like heavy tanks. I don't know why everyone dislikes heavy tanks, but that combo of chieftains and E5s should own this battlefield. It's a hold down map.
So we have SELVA's team heading straight under the track to the north or to the east side of the track. POPRS are moving to the hill. Well, not the hill, I guess, the center.
It doesn't matter how often teams beat us with the 1-2 line push. I still like the other side of the tracks more. I'm not sure why. I'm very opinionated like that. I just don't like the downtime of you crossing the field to get to the flag if they're putting flag pressure, but
spots have been made. See the tanks turning yellow now. Name's turning yellow, I guess I should say.
Yeah, one of those chieftains or E5 is spotting quite a long way. They're actually seeing butane all the way.
Ooh, Black Hauser's caught all by himself. He's taking quite a bit of damage, but it looks like he's going to get away with an ammo rack. I'm not sure he should have prepared that. Like, Trent's the only one that's taken damage for POPRS. Joe just takes a couple of hits himself.
Yeah, with that tank destroyer at the back, you gotta be really careful.
Like the way, if you look at the mini-map right now, it looks like a crooked smiley face. POPRS have spread out in an arc around the hill here, making the smiley, and for a little bit there, SELVA was in 2 little clumps. I do, but SELVA was in 2 little clumps that made two eyeballs.
Oh man!
All my viewers are tilting their head to the side right now.
Giving them all neck pain. Yeah, that E4 just became useless because he has to take cover.
SELVA's got 2 tanks up on the hill, and I really like how my POPRS here are just kind of ignoring that they're up there. I mean, they're effectively taking their guns out of the fight. They've got 2 tanks up there and 2 tanks here, stopping 3 tanks from crossing the tracks, and POPRS have sent the overmatch push over here to deal with Black Hauser, who's a 1-shot, and an E5. Cassador's just kind of waiting. Hopefully Hokie realizes that he's there.
Keep in mind, those tanks up at the hill can stop you crossing the railroad, which you're approaching now, and they can give support on the center. I wouldn't be surprised if DJ and Smokey got hit by those guys. I mean, that's costing you, but SELVA is doing it wrong. I think they should put flag pressure.
Mark Jackson sitting in the back. Just let Cassador know you're not going to safely come and flank those three friends of mine.
Oh, you'd be surprised, man. That's a E4. It's a very dangerous tank, especially if he shoots you sideways. You can be done and gone. Look at that 900
Puts a big hit. Yeah, Touchy's lost a lot of health right there. The health is still perfect.
Touchy's not 62, as brave.
62.
SELVA is at risk right now if they start losing guns, and POPRS needs to focus fire. They need to take those extra guns out.
They have 3 one-shot tanks right there. 3 guns that they can take out in a quick volley, and it looks like POPRS are all converging here for a big overmatch push.
That may cost them because you have an autoloader at the top of the hill.
This is true.
That guy has more than 3 rounds in his clip. He can clip out those 3 low
Butane
damage
goes
tanks.
down.
Yep. Now you're losing
POPRS
guns.
are losing
This
damage.
is hurtful.
SELVA is taking the lead.
Ooh, finally it's matching the guns. Good move by Touchy. Now their issue is E4 is again reloaded.
Oh, 2 misses.
Thankfully
on
he's
iron.
distracted.
Look out.
And
Casador's turning. Guns have been
they're
evened
still
up,
matching
but
guns,
SELVA
though.
has double the health.
Yeah, it's not looking good for TLP. I think
No,
they
it's
shouldn't have
not.
made that corner push in there with the E4 looking at them. That E4 collected some pretty hefty... Oh, now odds are turning. Do you really think they can pull it off?
No, because Hokie
No.
just went out there and lost a lot of health in a... Gotta get that cover.
But their TVP... But their TVP also lost quite a bit. But now guns are matching, yeah. SELVA is definitely taking the advantage here.
With 1 minute left on the clock, though, what is the ruling on a tiebreaker?
There is no draws, and right now we're not doing the damage, most damage dealt. It's a flat-out replay for WNF at least. If they want this to count for points, it's gonna have to be a replay.
I'm sitting here waving my fingers at the camera, but I don't have my camera turned on. Sitting here thinking to myself, I am not typing to tell my team, stall the timer. Touchy goes
Well,
down.
I mean,
It's
I
hard
know for a
watching your own
fact Touchy
team play.
knows. Touchy knows. If he's calling, he knows this. He's had to make that call before. I've seen him. So, is Touchy calling this one, or is it someone else? Yeah. So I mean, he knows this. He's had to replay quite a few. He's had to replay quite a few maps with me modding. So, unfortunate for him, but man, it's a draw. SELVA let this slip. Had that TVP stayed up there, they may have forced the situation, because then now you can pull the chieftain into the flag behind the houses, but they didn't keep the TVP up at the hill, and that cost them. All right, it's match.
Touchy B
I'm
rolling
gonna take
4,900 damage for that one there. Wow.
Now, look at that. What is their E4? What did their E4 do? Just 2,000. Not that impressive. They have a really good damage spread. I'm surprised. I am surprised. But keep in mind, Touchy did most of that damage with like 20% health. I'm disappointed at SELVA for letting him live so long. I know he's your buddy, but come on, SELVA, you could have taken him out and won this.
I will say, you know what? They're gonna end up calling you on this, and regardless, it has to be considered a draw. But I believe they were requesting a 10-minute timer, and you have it set at 7.
They didn't say the 10-minute timer. The standard here is 7, because at 10 minutes we can't fit it in 1 hour. That's the issue.
I agree, but see, it just came up in the Discord. And I can tell you that Touchy's not the one making this request. He's just stating the request that was told to him. Casador had sent Touchy the list of rules that he wanted to use. So as you're discussing it there in Discord,
replay. Yeah, it's still going to be a replay regardless of 10 or 7. So they did not take out the enemy team.
So so either it's a replay based on it being a draw, or it's a replay based on it being the improper ruling. It's a scrim, so either which way, we're having fun. But
right.
I guess the only difference would be whether we move on to the next side of this map, or we we continue on the same. We just re-roll this map with 10 minutes.
Well, so typically when we draw, we replay twice. And if this is a draw as well, we swap sides with no points.
That's fine by me. I'm just trying to appease the rulings that SELVA had requested. Like, whatever you say the rules are, I don't care. I'm just streaming it.
Well, if it's a scrim, I don't mind changing sides. It's just not for points, though, if we're changing the rules up on that, because typically we try to force a win. That's why. But you said it was a scrim, right? So this won't even count for points anyways.
Well, it's... What do you mean? It's a scrim.
So scrims are for practice. Point matches, those are just WNF matches. They can count for points. Basically, I'll call out to hell saying so-and-so beat so-and-so. This was the score. So which one is it?
Well,
do you know?
I was under the assumption it counted for points. Now, can we clarify that in the Discord chat to make sure that we abide by any rules that need to be abided by if that's what they were requesting? I would have streamed it either way, but that was part of the reason why I had requested your presence, was because I was under the assumption for points.
I mean, I would help even for a fun scrim. All right, so it's for points. We're leaving same side. Just because we do it this way, we're trying to force a win from one team or the other. Because when you get a chance to draw twice from one side, what that will do is it'll show that neither team is winning because of the side of the map. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, and Cassador both they both just clarified that they wanted it for points. For anyone watching and wondering, it was set up with about 5 minutes notice for I Kill You. He literally came on, logged in, and set the room up, and I was kind of running him through what tonight's matchup was about. It's kind of a grudge match. We could have talked about that before we got going here, but POPRS and SELVA have an old rivalry. We used to scrim a lot back before matches were streamed often, and as often as they are these days. And the last time we ended up facing was WCL2. And how did that work out? We were in the same pool. They did pools for the WCL2. We were in the same pool, and it came down to our match, and the winner of our match would get second place in our pool and move into the finals, and the loser would be put into a tied place with the rest of the teams that were put into a tiebreaker place, waiting for the rest of the matches to finish out. So the match between SELVA and POPRS went back and forth between the rounds, and ended up going to Ghost Town. And I don't want to claim the details because it was quite a few months back, but my memory seems to remember it going down to like a a very close 1 or 2v2, 1v1 or 2v2. It was a close match, and SELVA had taken it, claimed the spot for the playoffs, and we got put in the position where we had to watch the rest of the matches for the pool league portion, and we tied and lost out on tiebreaker rules for the final place in the playoffs. It was quite heartbreaking. So this is a grudge match here.
Grudge matches are my favorite. 7?
And you could see that first match out. Yeah, they both look ready. So this is round 1 again. I can splash my round 1 again.
Yeah. Draws don't count. It doesn't matter if it's timer issues or they didn't kill each other. You have to finish the other team. So you got to go for that killing blow. It forces your hand, right? Because if the opponent has a tank that's at a disadvantage but has the position, they don't have to give it up. Because giving it up could cost them the game, so they're going to force you to come to their position. Right? This draw can make or break you. Same goes on POPRS. If they don't think they can approach them correctly, it's sometimes better to give up the points, the half a point here or 1 point here, and gain it elsewhere. Because this will go to 3 maps, right? This is POPRS pick. SELVA will pick the next one, and then I get to pick the final, which most likely will be Ghost Town because it's so well balanced. Now, SELVA is bringing an E4, E50M, TVP, pair of E5s, and 2 Chieftains. Same thing.
POPRS are rolling out with the same thing as the replay. Yep, the E4, yep. 3 E5s, and 3 Chieftains. So SELVA's crossing the tracks the same way they did the first time.
I'm not sure why
staying
SELVA is
in the
doing
field.
This.
Cassador's on the tracks. Very similar, but Black Hauser's not going out as far as he did in the field last time. POPRS are claiming the bull, and Trin and Joe are back on the tracks the same way they were, probably a little more cautiously this time.
Now, one thing I'd like to see is some pressure on that flag. I'm surprised nobody approached wide to the flag. See, this cautious game usually leads to a tie. Oh, Butane got a unlucky
Well, with the
hit.
extra 3 minutes, I think, that last battle would have ended.
See that.
3 more minutes.
The problem with the extra 3 minutes is that people think exactly that, right? Oh, I have 3 extra minutes. So guess what one of the teams is going to do? They're going to sit waiting for another 3 minutes for things to turn up to their favor.
Well, in all honesty, I think SELVA was in the position where they could have put a little more pressure on. I think they had the upper hand, especially with the cap position on their side, if they got on that quick enough.
So if you notice, if you watch the gold teams and the top silver teams, they leverage that flag if it's unguarded, like the way TLP has left it right now. It looks like TLP has shots in there, but man, you get on the corner of the flag towards the hill and you don't have shots in there. And if you put a fast enough tank in there, they will wiggle from house to house until you empty your entire clip of ammunition, and you will still not get shots over there. Alright, same fight at the hill, or at the tracks rather.
Butane, Touchy, and Hokey. Cassador
here. Look at Touchy.
Putting a punishing blow in the Touchy.
Yeah, Cassador,
Iron
man.
and Black Hauser distract him.
He's shown he'll deliver in that corner. So Butane need to respect him a bit. There he goes again.
He takes a shot, but
He's
it doesn't track him.
Out.
If they could have tracked him, they could have maybe volleyed another 2 into him, but...
I don't think he's used his repair kit, has he?
I
guess I'll check because you're streaming. Yeah, I'll check. So, he has a repair kit. He has a repair kit. He just used it. As I was saying
PvP 5051 is over here toying with Mark and Joe. He goes. Oh,
So now
he was
he's
gonna go
tracked.
in.
And he got out.
3 shots. 4 shots. He puts 4 shots into Mark. Joe crosses the tracks and he's gonna push in on him because PvP is on a reload. Mark and Joe should be able to take him out before he's loaded.
Yeah,
and then move in
TLP
towards
is
the
losing
cap.
a lot of health again. I really don't like that pinch point in there. You're being shot at from 2 sides. Cassador can just wait and count until 3 of you guys fire and just pop over. Even if he takes a shot, he's still putting 800-900 against you, right? There goes Touchy.
Touchy
He
goes
was the
down.
top damage dealer.
Butane takes a hit. Hoki's trying to stay alive, keeping himself in a hard position to get hit. Cassador takes 2 big hits there.
And misses Hooky. I think he shot at Touchy's. Alright, so here Butane is done. He doesn't know it yet, but he's done.
I think he might,
Unless those
but he's
guys,
not giving up.
Well, see, here's the problem. The guys at the hill can't come to his aid because they're dealing with their own problems there. And they've crossed the track, so they're on the wrong side. Butane is gone, as predicted. Now those chieftains, well, chieftain versus chieftain love here. I'm betting the healthier ones are gonna win.
And with the extra 3 minutes on the clock, even if it gets to that point.
I think Touchy got a little bit confident from the last play that he had on that corner, that he tried it again. What he should have paid attention to is that they probably got too many lucky snapshots in last play, and the opponents hurried their shots and missed them. Well, this time around, SELVA looks like they aimed their shots a lot better, and they have the health pool advantage that they do, which honestly they had it last game. They just lost it to carelessness. They may have pulled off the last game as well had they been a little bit more patient. But
we can't hold on.
Here it is, SELVA wins. All right, so now we'll flip sides and try this again on the other way.
All right, let's call out the damage though. We have just shy of 3,000 damage dealt by Cassador in the E4. 2,700 by Iron in the E5. Smoky Joe and Butane both breaking 2,000 for the POPRS. But Touchy B, he went from 0 to 0.
Yeah, man. As I said, like he got so overconfident with that 20% health play that he had last time, but he should have realized that was luck. That was RNGesus on his side. Now that RNGesus departed, he got the donuts. So sometimes we don't appreciate RNGesus enough.
Okay.
Alright, let me bring SELVA over there and they can start picking. Did I leave any stragglers? Alright, we'll keep it this way, flip-flopped. We're ready. Dun, dun, dun.
Switch my scoreboard.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what POPRS and SELVA has for options here, but the picks they have now are decent. I would have probably swapped the autoloader honestly for another E50M. I think there'd probably be a better, steadier DPM here than the TVP, considering how soft the TVP is. They're not really using the burst damage of the TVP correctly because they're leaving it up there alone. As far as POPRS, they need to be a little bit more proactive about using their armor. Those railroad bridges are deadly places, especially if you're being shot at from two sides. You have to eliminate one threat and then approach it from a different direction before you can engage.
Yeah, both round one and redraw of round one, or however you'd like that to be said. They stayed pretty close, and then there was a tipping point where the health slid away and SELVA took the lead on health. Even though they had a couple tanks that were one-shots. They need to take those guns
I've seen this silly happen before, where there was a tank separation like SELVA had on that bridge, and what the 3 or 4 heavies going that way would do is they would go behind the tank destroyer and park themselves using that tank destroyer as a shield, and try and angle their armor around that tank as they're focus firing them. And as they focus fire that one tank, that tank destroyer goes out, then all that remains is the other 2 tanks. But now, if you're lucky, and that tank destroyer blocked some of your shots, you are 3 versus 2 versus 3 versus 3. So I mean, sometimes you got to make those crazy plays. Remember, fortune favors the bold.
A great saying.
Now look at SELVA bringing 2 autoloaders. I have a feeling, and this may not be truth, but I have a feeling they're going to do exactly what I said. They're going to pop in a heavy to absorb those first 2 or 3 shots, followed by a couple of autoloaders to just completely clean house on that one tank, and then they're going to run away. Guaranteed that's what's going to happen. And once you start chipping away at tanks like that, if that IS-7 gets out, it's a win-win. If the IS-7 doesn't get out, well, you still got one of theirs out, and probably even the odds to your favor, right? So we'll see what happens here. We got to watch out how those 2 autoloaders move. Now, I've had the misfortune of calling for a team that was largely heavies. Is that the same problem with POPRS, or are you guys intentionally choosing heavies? Do you know, Weasel?
They like the heavies. We have very diverse lineup of tanks.
Okay.
But we favor the heavies.
So
I myself favor don't, but I'm not playing.
Right. So my only problem with heavies, especially in a map like Prokhorovka, is you don't have the same mobility. So you could stand to lose a lot if the opponent is very aggressive. On the same flip side of the coin, if the opponent is not aggressive, you stand to gain a lot. So in the previous battle, POPRS was aggressive, but the mobility was on SELVA, and it cost POPRS because that TVP was moving back and forth, trying to support both sides either from the hill or from the flag area. I don't understand this. Why a 9? I mean, I don't think POPRS will complain, but doesn't that put them at a disadvantage? I don't care. I mean, is it okay?
Either way.
Is it okay with touches? My only question. Yeah, it's their rules.
If it's not, he'll say something. I'm sure he won't, though, like he said.
Yeah, honestly, I think it would be silly to ask. If they can't figure out that they played a 9, that's their problem. I think it was intentional. They may not like the Death Star. Honestly, that T-30 is a very powerful hold-down tank. You put that on the hill, Yeah, it's game over. If I had to pick between the...
You'd think you'd see the e4, though.
Well, he may not have the e4, and looks like they're sitting Cazador. It could be one of those situations where, hey, we have one game, let's try and bring a new guy in and train him, right? They may not be concerned specifically because this is POPRS map, so they may feel overly confident, or they may not see it as right, and they may not see this as a loss either, right? Are they ready? Yep.
I don't know all of their players enough to know. It's been such a long time since we have played them. To know, they could have new guys that are better than guys that were previously there. I don't know.
Depending on the player, a small like 1 point shift or 1 tier shift is not that big of an impact. I've been in this map on a all tier 10 battle in my T10 and still dealt more damage than all the tier 10s, right?
Sometimes the DPM and the lower aggro, the less attention you take on the battlefield, can play in your favor.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right, so TLP is bringing out an E4, a triplet of E5s, and a triplet of chieftains again, and I'm gonna let you call out the surprise. No, Selva is different, buddy.
No, I mean, POPRS have the same thing yet again. Selva's bringing out T30, Bat Chat, TVP, IS7, and 3 chieftains. So both teams are favoring the triple chieftains.
Now, unfortunate for Selva that T30 is in the wrong side of the spawn, so he's not taking the hill. I don't know if this was their initial call. Right, I don't know if this was their initial call or not, but it is the call now. And they're gonna meet the chieftain. The chieftains. Yeah, this is gonna hurt the T30 big time. And an E4 is coming from POPRS that way. Oh yeah, that T30 is in trouble. There he goes. Pop goes the T30.
Focus that gun out.
Yeah, the IS7 is trying to absorb it. It's not gonna happen. Just don't. Give up. Yep.
He goes down.
Ah.
And now they've got the overmatch on Cake here. Or if that's supposed to be pronounced Cake. I'm sorry if it's not. But unfortunately, that's that spawn that both Pedro and Cake got kind of just put them off by themselves, and POPRS here pulled their chieftains up real quick and found themselves with an overmatch. Trin in the E4 in the back. I'm sure he's going to end up waiting for a shot and land a big one on the IS7.
So this is some beef with Touchy right now. Touchy just noticed that the chieftains on the left are exposed, took 2 shots there, and then turns his attention on that IS7. He could easily leave that IS7 to his E4 because his E4 is useless right now. It has nothing else to do, and focuses chieftains on the chieftain that's charging them, and the 2 overlord and the other guy. He's got 2
probably a little
there, but I'm not sure. There he goes. IS7's
He's
down
probably
now.
a little concerned of losing some unnecessary health, like he did in the first 2 matches, first 2 rounds.
Could be. He's definitely staying hull down this time around, letting them expose themselves. Selva is done. They don't know it yet, but they're done. There is no pulling back.
Well, Colonel Moss here is
yeah.
No, he is not the last tank. The last tank, there's 2 tanks left. The other one is off my render range. But Colonel Moss is about to be pushed hard by 2 E50 or E5s, I should say.
So the E4 is in trouble. If he doesn't see the bat chat in time, he's gone. But it doesn't matter. There is healthy E5s and a couple of chieftains out there. It's not going to matter. And Trinidad knows he wasted that shot, but He only needs to hit that bat shot once.
He's got him on the run. He's got him, he's pinned him off into this corner. The bat chat has nowhere to go, except try and juke him out and get back up the one line. POPRS has sent someone to the cap. I can't see them off render range, but
I hope it's Ragin, right? He's the lowest. It's Hooky. He's still low enough.
Butane.
Butane and Hooky have taken shots, yeah.
They
Well,
were the
no,
ones that
Butane is on
pushed
the
in
tracks.
on the TVP.
Right.
Oh, okay. So there's yet another
okay.
tank outside of my render range.
But it doesn't matter. You can't pull back from that one. Once they lost that T30 and IS-7, it was game over. That's the disadvantage of Prokhorovka. You split that wide, you lose it. They split way too far. Wow, that's quite a pullback, honestly.
If you look at the POPRS here, I'm not even going to begin to read everybody off, all the numbers off, because we have Lenity, Touchy B, Butane, and Hokey all scoring within 2,500 damage, within 100 damage of 2,500. Touchy just taking the edge there with 28. On SELVA's side, the poor Pedro in the T30 was goose-egged. He got singled out pretty early with a bad spawn point. And
Yeah.
Can you pronounce that name that got 2,000 damage in the Chieftain?
Oh, I got out of the screen. I'm trying to swap teams because they requested left.
The one that starts with a C.
Sayek? Could be Sayek.
Yeah.
Or Sayeke?
I don't know.
Where are they from?
They're a Spanish community team. Mexico, Brazil. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to.
Could be
America.
Sayeke.
So I assume it's.
I would ask my wife if she was here. She knows a little bit of Spanish, but she's not around. Sadly, she's studying, learning more languages.
Maybe you could tell her it's a pop quiz on Spanish. Or some unknown language, because I'm not even certain that that's what it is.
She's right now learning Automata, I think, which is basically a mathematical way of looking at languages for computer science.
That's interesting.
So I'm going to make it a requirement. If you call on a map, you really need to know which one is east-west on the map based on the team training board.
Why are they who's asking for a specific side? Oh, I guess it would be Selva's turn, because
Selva asked for left, but I assume it's left of the team training board because that's the controls I know. So I'm gonna leave it at this. Yeah, they're picking tanks. I think it's good.
Yeah, I've been pushing for the know your spawn points. You can't request the mod or the streamer to know what side's what.
Well, see, I'm used to NB. Our stock answer is yeah, sure, as we are, because we typically get to play the other side as well. Even if it's the second map pick, we're still unfortunate enough to play the second side. So yeah, we don't really care which side we spawn in.
Just doing some preparation for some other events, another match I'm doing later tonight. Wondering, it's got me sidetracked a little bit.
I'm just all confused with the time because my clock on the wall says 10 minutes to 9 and my cell phone says 10 minutes to 8. So I need to fix the darn clock. I have some traveling for work tomorrow, so haven't prepared my bag yet. I blame this guy called Weasel about the 5-minute warning for modding a room.
And I thank you yet again for coming in here and doing this.
Any time for you, anytime for you.
I'm sure Cassador would, Selva would be thanking you as well. The short notice help you're giving us.
I usually try. I usually try and help anyone that asks. You don't have to be a buddy of mine to get my help, but the only thing that would have ruined your plans tonight would have been my wife. But she's thankfully studying, so you're safe. She had to make a choice between spending some time with me, and it'll probably be the only time she gets with me all week, versus studying, and she chose studying because she's stressing out about a test. So. All right, looks like we're ready.
All right, let me just.
Let's go. Let's go. I think we lost a guy. I hope it's from Selva, because I may have started the game early if that's the case.
Who's on which side of the training room? I didn't even see that. Changes my scoreboard.
Right. Right. Well, right board was POPRS. The blue was POPRS. So.
Okay. So blue is POPRS.
We're good. Yep.
So we're going into round 3. This is POPRS versus Selva. This is now Selva's map choice. POPRS is blue. They have an E4, 3 E5s, and 3 chieftains. Have not strayed from that lineup.
And Selva is bringing an E4, a T62A, Batchat 25T, IS4, a pair of E5s, and a chieftain. I'm not sure why they swapped to the IS4. From last update, from what I gather, IS7 pretty much is better than the IS4 in every aspect. I didn't pay attention to who their
player could be
different
behind
driver
the curve
maybe
on swapping his crew or getting the IS7 unlocked and researched and blah blah blah. It does take quite a lot of work to get a variety of tanks up at tier 10. You know.
Oh yeah. I'm going through that growing pain right now. I just got my chieftain. For the longest, I only had the E5. It was pretty obvious which tank I was bringing because my options were E5 and E5. But thankfully now I have a chieftain E5 and IS7. Let's see. Typical flag push. One thing I don't like that Selva is doing is that Batchat in the middle. It's great for spotting, but now he's being wasted. He's out of position.
He's in the typical. He's doing a typical spot where you'd send the tier 7 or 8 in a 761 or 768 scout run, but this is 770. Right. So
now he would be a lot more useful if he makes around that amphitheater.
Just landed a shot.
To get some shots. Oh, he
just landed that shot on touchy, so he does have a lane, and he didn't get detected doing it, so he knows something
we don't. There goes another one. Well, that's the reason you put him there, right? He can shoot that middle lane. You can't charge that middle lane anymore. Ooh.
I don't know. Mouse goes down in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a meltdown.
Black Hauser took an ammo rack.
Everyone.
He's repaired it. But he's down to half health. Early damage lead and a gun lead has gone to POPRS.
All right, so here's the issue with focus fire. I see guys from POPRS shooting left. I see guys shooting right. They really needed to focus the E5 and Chieftain at the south tip first. But they're spreading damage now, and they really need to take a gun out. There goes another one. Hey, they got this. It's an overmatch everywhere you look at it now.
And Junior is just too far out of this battle to make a difference at this point. He's coming in fast, but by the time he gets here, I don't know if there's going to be anyone left to save.
Yep. Nope.
And,
so yes, he got lucky with those 2-3 shots.
He has less shells in his magazine than he has targets to shoot at. So even if he could one-shot every tank, he'd still come up short.
Yep, he's in trouble now. He knows it, and I'm surprised they just hit him. Wow, how many shots can his tracks take? Huh? I saw at least 3 go into his track.
Great job, man.
So you made mention of some of the focus fire being a little bit off on POPRS there, or maybe a lot off. But I will say that you will see, looking through POPRS lineup here, there's a lot of regulars, a lot of traditional name, like a lot of guys you've seen for the over the years that POPRS has been scrimming. But there are a few newer guys that they are excellent tankers, and they're just a little bit new to the 7 versus 7 scrimming team training room aspect. We've been doing a lot of practice, in-house practicing and whatnot, but it's only been the last 2 months that we've really been back scrimming other teams, and really we've only done it once per week at most. And with WNF being off on their break for the last few weeks, this is the first match back in about a month.
Okay. Yeah, no, I really liked the timing. Whoever was calling it, which I'm assuming is Touchy, but if it was someone else, whoever was calling it, the rush in was perfectly timed. Like, they took that medium out due to luck, and then at that point it was just go in there. This is not a fight anymore. It's a slaughter. And sometimes you just have to panic the enemy like that, because that shock, that impulse, will send them into a frenzy. And remember, frenzies means that they're shooting at every target in front of them. No focus fire, they die. And I think they just had a bigger split on fire and delivery of damage.
I'd like to call out the damage on that note real quickly from the previous battle. I'm still on the screen. We have Lenity leading the damage with 3,600 in his chieftain. Touchy B getting 2,600, Hokey getting 24, and on the SELVA side we have Cake being the only one to break 2,000 damage in his E5.
I was surprised at the spread on POPRS after the fact, so they all dealt a decent amount of damage. No, it was a pretty well played game. Can't complain with the score, right? It was 5 tanks still alive at the end of that game. But I will tell you this. What won that last match was being aggressive. Had POPRS stayed back for a minute or two extra, they would have been harassed by that Bat Chat, and he can cost you a tank or two. And once he costs you a tank or two, then the game is over. They start getting the advantage. Have I lost you, Weasel? Uh-oh, I think I lost you.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here.
I've had problems with Microsoft
I was just muted
before, so.
I was just muted because there was some noise, background noise going on. And you know, I live with a 5-year-old and a noisy household at times, so. So we're getting set up here for round 4. SELVA had taken the first round after replaying it a second time around. For those of you maybe are just tuning in now, we played the first round. It ended in a draw. We replayed the first round. SELVA squeezed it out. And then the second and third rounds have just been a slaughter. They started off slow, and then POPRS noticed an overmatch and pushed on them. Like the second round of proc, that poor T30 in the IS-7. In their case, they had bad spawns. They really did. They respawned off by themselves, and they didn't regroup quick enough and got melted. And the second time around, or the first round here on Airfield, that bat chat went to the center there, to the lower area, as everybody else clashed it out in the typical hills. And when POPRS noticed the overmatch with the bat chat down, and that T50 was not T54, the T62 got melted pretty quick. As soon as he went down, the push was on.
I think the T62 is making that typical drive up the hill to get to the E5 area. You know, the overlook that could have potentially shot the bat chat. As he was making that rise there, he just went face on with 2 chieftains and 2 E4s, and it was not a happy day for him at all.
Just, if they're ready to go, or if you're launching it, just give me a heads up, because I'm not looking at it at the moment.
All right. Yeah, they're still waiting on one tank, so we're ready now. I'm gonna give him a 10-second warning, and then we can launch it whenever you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready for you to launch it.
All right. I will call POPRS this time, and I'll let you call SELVA. POPRS is left, should be the red team, I believe.
Yep.
And we're in the loading screen right now.
Yep. Oh, I should put the round splash up. This is round 4. It is a best of 5.
This is do or die for SELVA.
So, yeah.
Do or die.
SELVA's got a... Now, this was SELVA's map pick.
Yep, so...
Not their spawn pick, though.
POPRS, no, it was their spawn pick as well. So POPRS is bringing E4, triplet of E5s, and the typical meta of 3 chieftains. You?
Tried and true, it's working for them. SELVA is bringing out the E4, 3 E5s, and 3 chieftains. So they have adopted the matching lineup. Okay.
I don't like these 2 lineups.
So who's got the tank advantage?
I really, this is really a bad idea. Nobody has advantage.
Well, they shouldn't. The same tanks.
I have to complain now, guys. What are you doing? But you know, I always complain about something. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a good spectator. All right. So the typical only thing you can do with a bunch of slow tanks, go to the middle. Oh, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be Brawl Town. I really wish SELVA had kept their 2 mediums.
Here. I gotta keep an eye on the time. Oh, it's technically after 8. So anyone still watching us, because I didn't take into account the time delay.
Yeah, the replay.
Anyone still watching us right now, if you had jumped over from an auto host from Wednesday Night Fights, I urge you to go back to the Wednesday Night Fights stream, and because the Fantasy Nation will be kicking off any moment now. hopefully this round will wrap this battle up. I'm cheering for my poppers, obviously. And right now it's an equal battle, 94% damage remaining for each. Poppers deals
Mars
a couple
got the
extra
MRX.
shots there. SELVA's got all their tanks huddled up in around that one little area there. POPRS is spreading out, getting more angles of fire.
Butane is pushing his luck right now. He really doesn't have a good shooting position there. DJ is pretty decent setup there.
Cassador just got hit in the ammo rack.
They just
Kate
need
got
to
hit in
finish
the ammo rack. I am seeing all kinds of ammo racks popping up. I don't know if anyone's officially been ammo racked beyond repair, but Trin gets in there, lands a big shot. Lenity got hit in an ammo rack. I'm trying to keep the whole battle here in focus because there's pushes going on all three lanes here.
Cassador Z4
we got some tanks going down here, and
Blackhauser's down. Hookie's down.
POPRS are
they're going down
POPRS are
fast.
doubling them in health, and it's once they take down Cake,
it's over.
They're all going to converge in on the final three heavies right here.
It's over. They delayed those heavies with the two chieftains and were able to overmatch the other side. So then it was 4 versus. Or 5 versus 3, I think, or 4 in there. So they had an extra tank on the other side of the match.
Trin takes out Junior. Butane might go down if Overlord gets reloaded, but they they all just push in on him.
Yep.
And after going down
Raging survived.
in the first round, the POPRS have clawed their way back to win this one, 3-1. I'll go over the damage really quickly here. 2 tanks for the POPRS breaking 3,000 damage. Touchy with 3,600, Trin with 3,300. Everyone else breaking 1,000, and Hokie getting 2,400. On SELVA's side, we have Overlord leading his team with 2,700. Mars, Leela, York, and Cake breaking 1,000, and the rest just shy. So this was POPRS versus SELVA, and it
3-1,
was
right?
a 3-1 win for POPRS. I don't know if you record the first replay of the draw, but there was a first replay of the draw. I'd like to thank IQU for being here and moderating this for me, for both of us here, for SELVA and for POPRS. But I have to end the stream because Fantasy Nation is starting, and I don't want to take any more time away from them, as if I already have. I did not realize we're after 8. So take off, guys, and enjoy Fantasy Nation.